it going, guys? BFS Prophet here. Today we're back at my favorite fishing spot where I usually go quite often. And today we're going to take a look at the new Daiwa Silver Creek Airstream Custom TW. So with this reel right here, I've been taking it up or testing it out a lot, to say the least. And to my surprise, this reel works very well. It's probably one of my top BFS reels as of right now. Things with my reel, as you can see, it's obviously not stock, but in terms of the upgrades or mods I did, nothing too crazy. But I definitely, for me, for starters, always change the spool if you can. So in this reel, I put a Roro Spool AX24 standard spool. And with this spool, I will definitely say it's definitely later in stock. It does help to really open up the full potential of this reel to cast some pretty tiny stuff. I mean, I'm talking trout magnet territory. I'm not one to fish the trout magnet. I don't do the general, benchmark standard, as I like to call it, in the BFS roils we all know. But for me, as long as I can cast my small stuff, or if I know I need to really downsize, I can do it with this setup right now. And on top of that, I put some ceramic micro bearings. Always another standard thing I do in all my reels, no matter what. It helps to bring the full potential of the reel. On top of that, for me, just cosmetic stuff, I added a Daiwa RCS 80mm carbon fiber handle, as you can see here. And in terms of the knobs, these are Mega Bass gray cork knobs. So I love the fact or the idea of the cork knobs. I love them, but I figured, why not add something different? Make it cork still, but have that little trickiness to it. Because let's just face it, I like my stuff trick with my reels in general, as I'm sure a lot of you guys do. But I'm just a little more detailed. I want things at the best. Today in this video, I paired it with my Kuying Teton. This is the TC510s. And if any of you BFS guys know out there that this is probably the most specialty, ultimate, lightweight, tiny lure BFS rod. There's no other rod as of yet that I have or I've tried that can cast as small stuff as this rod. And to get the most out of this reel, I have found that this setup, I can cast pretty much any of the small lures that I want to. And at the same time, I can throw a little bit bigger stuff because it has a nice, powerful backbone to it. I can cast those bigger stuff if I need to in a pinch. Very versatile setup. For extreme BFS, it is still surprisingly versatile with that setup. Honestly, as I've fished this reel, I've come to really like it. Originally, I was more of a Shimano guy, coming from that background, but in recent times, the Daiwas blow me away with what they're coming out with, to the point that Shimano kind of needs to step up their game a little bit, in my opinion. Hopefully they will, because as we all like, competition is always a good thing in the fishing reel market world. So I'm curious to see what Shimano's gonna come out with. As we already probably, many of us know about BFS reels, they are coming out with the new Aldebaran. So that's gonna be very interesting to see. Of course, in the future, I will probably have that reel, and that's another whole thing I'm gonna test out for you guys, because I'm very curious to see where they stack up at this point. BFS is getting quite, I don't want to say popular, but quite eye-opening. I'm excited about the future of BFS, and hopefully from here, it's just gonna get better, better, and better. All right, guys, so just a little intro, a little bit of just a little once-over of the reel. So now, let's just give it a test and see what it's all about and what it stacks up to be. I want to show you guys what it's all about, and hopefully from my video you'll have a better insight to this reel and what it has to offer. And I'm sure you won't be disappointed. So in this test that we're gonna do here, in this test, I think my go-to for when I'm fishing, at least in my area, number one thing, I always like to throw a small weightless plastic. So in this test, we're gonna throw one of my favorite lures, the Jackal Eye Shad.
So BFS, what do you have in here?
Well, this is my little bag of BFS Curios, to say the least. I have so much stuff in here, I don't even remember all I have in it, but frankly, so there might be a day where I'm just gonna have to go through this again and really sort out things, but as you can tell here, I try and test out everything, especially when it comes to my plastics. I am quite partial to my plastics. We're out here, the bass like the plastics more than anything. They like lures, hard baits, but they like the plastics. And you find what works. And as time goes on, hopefully I can show you guys what works for me, kind of give you a little more insight. Let's share this community of the BFS. And now as I tell guys that are watching my video, please comment. Give me your suggestions. Tell me if you've used the Airstream. Tell me your opinions. Everyone has their opinions on what things work for them and whatnot. So please, ask away. Let's get this thing going. Let's get this community going and make this a better sport. So, here's my first bait we're going to try out today. Not much to it. It's 2.8 inches, just under 3 inches. This is the Jackal Eye Shad. Probably one of my go-to baits, especially when you're going into that winter to spring transition where the fish are still a little bit on the slow side. So you gotta give them something that's very subtle, but very inviting to them. Something with that nice, subtle action. Something that sinks slow. That's all that works, at least for the timing as of right now. And of course, we're gonna try other lures, just for the sake of seeing how well it casts and performs. But let's hopefully try to catch a fish in the process. We'll see. I don't have to cast it very hard. And since it's a fixed brake rotor, you don't need to cast it very hard. It always has a constant braking to it. And originally this kind of reel was made for streams and creeks. I've come to find with this reel, it works equally as well casting and fishing on lakes and ponds. So don't let the Airstream name fool you thinking it just fishes creeks or streams or rivers. Granted, it works perfect for that, but it also works good for the lakes and ponds, as you can see here. I don't let that stop. Didn't cast very hard, and I got about 60 feet almost right there on that cast without much effort to it. And because we are dealing with a much lighter spool than even the stock spool, and by no means is the stock spool slouch. It's a great spool, but with this light spool, my ceramic micro bearings, casting is effortless. Even with something as light as this for a teeny piece of plastic and a hook, essentially is all we're using here. So, and right now we're just gonna fish slow, giving some very subtle twitches. We'll see what happens. Drag star is perfect on this thing. As you can see how I fish with this kind of bait. I just take that drag star, which by the way, nicest drag star I've seen on a Daiwa reel, especially this reel. I also have the original Alphas Air TW. Basically the same reel, honestly, to be honest here. But I feel with this reel, it's the way it should have been made in the first place, in my honest opinion. This is my go-to reel as of right now. A place that I like to get a lot of my gear, like the lures, terminal tackle, hooks like that, I definitely say give BFS Empire a try. They're a new up-and-coming shop that focuses just on BFS. Great place to start if you want to look more into buying BFS related things. They're a local US based store. Everything you pretty much need is there. And in terms of the reel, for me, I got my reel, my Airstream from Digitaka. And so far, Digitaka has the best prices. Very easy to do. I pay with my PayPal. done. My reel came to me in 3 days. From Japan all the way to California. That's impressive. We're just fishing down the line, just changing spots. So far I haven't gotten any fish or bites yet, but that's what they do call fishing, not catching after all, right? So we're just on the other side of the lake right now. We're just searching out for them. You gotta search them and find them. And once we find them, go from there. One thing I love about this reel is just the effort of casting is just ridiculous. Like, I don't even have to cast very hard at all, even for small stuff. I just gentle little fling and that's it.
Oh, the BFS Prophet. Look at that.
Hey, let's stick it back.
Look at that.
Come down a little bit. All right, guys. Don't do this at home. Yeah.
Look at that. Well, you look at that on the
Little dink, but hey, gives me something to show you guys a little bit. See how the reel performs. Excellent, by the way. No problems. Reel handles like a champ, smooth as butter. Drag's awesome, by the way, on this thing. Obviously, one of the best drags I've ever felt on a reel, especially BFS reel. Perfect. Well, guys, there you have it. There's a quick little once-over with the Daiwa Silver Creek Airstream Custom TW. Great reel. Don't really have any complaints for it yet. I'm going to keep testing it, doing more extensive testing, let you guys know anything that changes that comes up. But only time will tell. As of that, thanks for watching my video. I appreciate you coming by to watch it. And please send a like, comment, give me your thoughts on the reel, questions, ask away. I'll answer the best as I can. Please subscribe.